Blog Talk Radio.
Diamond in the back, a sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean. Ooh, ooh. Diamond in the back, a sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean. Ooh, ooh.
What's going on, Bully World? This is your host, Zeb, and tonight you're tuned in to Bully Talk with Zeb Pits. And tonight, my very special guest is none other than Fabian Chichester. He is the founder of Remyline Kennels and also the founder of the RKC, which is the Remy Kennel Club. He is also one of the ones that's really creating a big buzz that's going on in the bully community right now. And I want to thank Fabian for coming on tonight. How are you doing tonight, sir? How you doing tonight, sir?
Hello?
Hello? Hey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, boss?
Good, man. Let's get right into it, man. Where you originally from?
I'm originally from South America, Guyana.
How was life growing up there?
Well, Guyana's a third world country, so if you're from a third world country, to me it's great, but it's definitely it's a poor country. It's only like rich class and a poor class there now. There's no more middle class, but it's my home and I love it. I love the food. I love the people.
How did you make your way over to the U.S.?
Shoot, by boat, by plane. Pretty much. We flew to London, and then from London we flew to Canada, and then from Canada we came to the U.S.
Was there a special reason why you wanted to leave, or for better opportunities here in the States?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody in a third world country is always going to want to leave, because pretty much in a third world country you're kind of going to be what your family is. So opportunity to kind of be whatever you want to be is not as acceptable or as attainable as it is in America. So luckily for me, my aunt was a nurse, and back then, in the late 70s, America was allowing nurses from all over the world to come. So when she came, she was able to sponsor my family, so we came over like in the 80s.
Back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you get a chance to get back home?
The last time I was back home would be 94, 95. But I really don't go back as much anymore because most of my family, other than like maybe third or second cousins, are there that I kind of really don't know too well. But majority of my families are moved out of the country, so it's been a while.
Do you find things changing back home?
It's gotten worse. I mean, if you have money, it's a great place to be. But if you don't have money, it's not really the best place to be.
When did you pick up for the love of dogs?
Well, I've always liked dogs. When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to have dogs. In fact, in Guyana, dogs just run the roads. Dogs don't come in the house. Pretty much, it's not a norm in a third world country to really have dogs that are like, well, they're pets, but they're just kind of like they eat what you eat. There's no going to buy dog food. It is what it is. So I've always loved dogs. When I came to the States, my parents never let me have any animals, So after I moved out and stuff, I've always liked the pits, but when you didn't know, I was like, the pits are scary. So I got a boxer. In fact, there was a half boxer, half pit named Sinbad, and ever since then, I just always had dogs, and I've always been into the pits.
Why the pit bull?
I'm sorry, why the pit bull?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I like the pit bull just because I'm the type of person where I'm active, I'm relaxed, I'm chill. I could do whatever I want. I could walk in all areas of life, and that's the thing about a pit bull. It's like you could pretty much make a pit bull be what you want it to be. If you want it to be a guard dog, it can be a guard dog. If you want it to be a lap dog, it can be a lap dog. You can pretty much make it do or be whatever type of personality you like, compared to like certain dogs are just bred for certain purposes. If you're a hyper person, probably not going to want to get like a Dalmatian. I mean, if you're not a hyper person, you wouldn't want to get a Dalmatian because they're hyper dogs. So that's why I like the pit bulls, and I like the muscle definitions. Once you own a pit bull, you can never own nothing else. That's what I always say.
Do you currently have other dogs besides pit bulls right now?
Well, my family has a Shih Tzu named Sam, which is my wife's dog. Other than that, no. Just pit bulls, American bullies.
Let me ask you something. You have daughters, right?
I'm sorry?
You have daughters, correct?
Yep, I have 2 daughters.
Do you see them being future dog women in the bully world?
Well, to be honest, my 13-year-old, I thought was going to be the one. She was like my rider, and then she got about 8, and then things kind of changed, and now she's kind of like really girly. So my only hope left is my 6-year-old Venice, who loves dogs a lot. So I think Venice has a better chance of being a dog woman, but I think there'll be more. I think Rain will be more of an RKC, businesswoman, and Venice might be more of Venice might be more of a Remyline girl,
Do they go to shows with you?
I used to take them to shows, but I stopped taking my kids to shows just because the shows have been getting real sketchy, you know. So they haven't been to shows in years. I stopped going to like a lot of the shows outside of the shows that we throw, but they'll come to those. But not really. I really don't take them to shows.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you something. What you like doing when you're not dealing with the dogs?
Pretty much I'm a movie buff. I love seeing movies. I love being at the beach. I love being outdoors, riding bikes. We're pretty much an active family. I mean, on the weekends we really don't drive unless we're going far. We ride our bikes everywhere. I'm just an outdoor person, man. I just love being outside. I'm not a house person. I'm very, very outdoors. I love art. I love culture. I love buildings. I love architecture. I'm just really into like real, just amazing things, you know, that I see.
I see. Let me ask you something, because you know, I noticed some of the pictures. You're a cigar man, also, correct?
Yeah, I love cigars. In fact, my wife told me, you know, you've really gotten really into the cigars, and are you going to slow down? The thing is, I maybe smoke in a week maybe 3 cigars, 4 at the most. But yeah, I'm definitely a cigar connoisseur. Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Actually, man, you know, I met a couple guys that smoke cigars, and I tried it. I'm like, oh, this isn't cool. But the thing about a cigar, it's not really smoking the cigar. It's the lifestyle of the cigar. It's the culture of the cigar. It's kind of like I could go anywhere in the world, and if I see someone with a cigar, all I have to say is, what kind of smoke is that? And now I have a friend for life, especially if he knows what he's talking about. It's like a brotherhood. It's really a gentleman's smoke. It's not something you just go and puff, pass, you know, and just in a minute you're done. You know, you got to enjoy a cigar. I like the whole lifestyle, what it stands for, you know, and so once you get into the culture of the cigar, then the actual smoking of a cigar is even better.
What's your favorite cigar?
Right now, believe it or not, man, my favorite cigar used to be my father's. I like that a lot, but I'm more of a Partagas guy. But I've been smoking right now, which is so funny. It's actually a cheap cigar, but it's actually been really good. It's a Romeo and Juliet 1895. But if I have to say my favorite would be Partagas.
Oh, okay. Man, let's jump right into it, man. I'm going to jump into it with the questions tonight, man. How long have you been dealing with the American bullies?
I originally started with the American bullies, so that would be, 13 years? No, I would say, because really the name of the American bullies really didn't start becoming more of a name until like 2003, so I'll say 10 years.
About 10 years. Who was your first bully?
My first dog was a dog named Buddha that I bought from Ed Shepherd off of Blackjack. That was my first dog. Then I went and bought a dog off of Short Shot, 2 dogs off of Short Shot, Maximus and Zoe, and then I picked up Remy.
And let me ask you, what were you looking for when you got your first bully?
I had no idea, to be honest. I just was looking like everybody else. I saw a badass dog, and I thought if I buy a pup from that dog, I'm going to have that dog. And so my style started to change because, see, when you don't do your research, you just get excited and you buy a dog, then you start searching the net, then you be like, damn, look at this one. And next thing you know, you thought you were into this style, but you're not into that style. You're kind of like this style, then you're kind of like this style. So it just kind of evolved. But when I came up to Remy, I was done. I knew that was it. That was the complete package for me.
Like you were saying, when you came about getting Remy, you were the owner of one of the most legendary dogs in the bully world in Remy Martin. Tell me how for a lot of people that might not know, because I know the story, but for those who don't know, tell the story how you went about owning Remy.
Primarily, man, I had some dogs, and I had a treadmill, and I wanted to sell a treadmill, so I had a treadmill for sale, and a guy by the name of George Remyline Kennels called me and says, hey, man, I want to get your treadmill. How about you give me the treadmill, and I'll give you this. So you give me this treadmill on $500, and I'll give you this puppy. You know, and I looked at the puppy, and I didn't see the puppy. I looked at He said the brother from the first breeding is a dog named Blaze. So I checked out Blaze, checked out. I was like, wow. I checked out, the parents. I was like, cool. So me and my friends, we rolled up there and just picked up Remy from there.
What was that day that you finally realized that you had something special in your boy?
I knew I had something special in him, like, after about 2 weeks after I got him. I knew I had something special because when I got him, he had, like, parvo, so I thought the dog was going to die. So the first week, I just pretty much was just kind of, like, distraught. In fact, I was going to sell him. I named him Judo, was his name. I was taking judo classes at the time. And I came home one day, and I went back, and I saw this fat little puppy, and I was just like, oh, shoot, my wife got rid of Judo. Because, I wasn't really happy with the dog. And then so I went inside, I was like, hey, babe, you sold Judo, because and got me another puppy? And she says, no. And we went back there, and I was like, well, who's that? And she's like, that's Judo. Like, damn. Like, he just was thick and just right. Never had an ugly day after that day. So it's kind of a funny story because people are like, well, you didn't see him for a week? I was like, no, but the difference when you have a dog that you love, that you're feeding and you're just into, then you have a dog you're not going to keep. You just kind of feed and take care of it, but you're going to sell it. That's how that was with Judo.
Well, why the name change?
Sean from True Tank saw him and was like, man, he looks like my old dog shipping champagne Remy. And he was like, you should name him Remy. And I was like, yeah, Remy. I said, but Remy's a girl's name you have. And I was like, well, I'm going to name him Remy Martin. And that's how the name came about.
Back then there was no Facebook, anything like that. How did the buzz get around in the bully community on your boy Remy Martin?
Well, see, back then it was you lived off of your website, or you lived off of your links page. You'd tell people, can I be added to your links page? So when people go to your site, they check the links page and so forth. But see, I always, put pictures up of Remy growing up on the net. So if you have a hot dog, your buzz is going to get around because they're going to see your dog, and then people will talk about your dog. That's when you know if you have a hot dog. If nobody's talking about your dog, then your dog it's either just average or it's just not hot. A lot of people will try to make their dogs hot, but hot is hot, man. You could say hot, but when people see the reality, they realize it's really cold. But if you could show hot, and then when they come and touch it and get burnt, then it's even better.
Let me ask you something, dude. You were saying about how the buzz could get around with websites. Do you see that dying out now because of the Facebook phenomenon going on right now?
That's dead. I wish websites, to me, that's done. I mean, times have changed. People got to understand that. It's cool to have a website. You'll catch some new booty, but that's really catching some new booty. But other than that, you've got to be in some sort of community where it is because, I haven't had a website in forever years. But then again, my story's a little different, though, But I think
so. What would you recommend for people who are trying to build up their brand? Would you recommend a website or social networks?
Well, I recommend if a person's going to try to build up a brand, the person got to realize what do they really want to do. Everybody in this dog game want to talk about for the better the breed or want to talk about, I love dogs. Okay, well, that's fine. When you want to build a brand up and all that type of stuff, it's not about loving dogs no more. It's about making money. So until you separate those two, it'll never work for you. Because if you're going to build a brand, people build a brand to either sell or for something. You're not just building a brand for the love of the breed. That don't make no sense to me. So that's your question. The long and the short is, it's good to have both, but if you're going to build a brand, you got to find out what pond you're going to swim in, or what lake you're going to fish in, or what ocean you're going to be on. So you got to kind of find out social networks that has that, or where that is, because if you're selling poodles in the American bully world, you're not going to last too long, So it's kind of like once you kind of know really what you're trying to do, it's good to have the website if you're new, only people that have been in the game a long time probably don't need to have one. But if you're starting off, you gotta get your growing pains. So it's good to have a website also.
Let me ask you this: in the process of building the brand with Remy Martin, his first production, would you say was you talked about one time the first 3 productions? Can you elaborate on that? As far as building the brand
for any dog is great, because you could have a beautiful dog, but now after you have the beautiful dog, the next thing is, what is he producing? So if you have a beautiful dog and you don't produce, stuff right away, no one is going to take time to wait for you. It's kind of like, we think you're a beautiful dog, you have my attention. Show me what you could do. It's like if you go up to like 50 Cent or PD and says, I'm a rapper, he'd say, okay, give me 16 bars. Well, you better hit it in that 16 bars, because he's not trying to hear you again. You can't come back and say, okay, hold on, I'll come back next week. So your first 3 breedings, not your first breeding, not your second breeding, your first 3 breedings, it's got to be hitters. Because your first one, they might say you're lucky. The second one will be like, okay, let me pay attention. Your third one, it's done. If it's consistent, it's like, that dog could produce.
I see. And in that first litter, did you wind up keeping any puppies in that first litter?
I kept 2 puppies in that first litter.
Yeah, who were the names on those 2?
Well, at that time, one was named Zeta, that I sold to Marco Suarez, and then the other time we had another female that ended up passing away. She didn't really have a name at that time.
Back then, the big thing were the stack-offs. I did an interview with Christopher Hodge, and he talked about the challenge. Yeah, tell me your version of the challenge that went down. That went down.
Well, see what happened was, see what people have to understand is the history with Remy and Remyline. What ended up happening was Remy was a razor's edge dog, and I always called him a razor's edge dog. But at that time, there was a lot of clicks happening. There was Elite Edge, there was True Tank, and so forth. So everybody with hot dogs would be kind of jumping on to different cliques, okay? Well, my thing was, if I was to join a clique, is it going to be beneficial for me? Because I'm doing well on my own already. Why do I need to join a clique? If it's going to do better for me, then yes. But if it's going to keep me the same or less, it doesn't make any sense for me. So I'm one guy with a dog that's pretty much shutting the game down at that time. Everybody breeding to Remy. Everybody. Every big kennel, every name was breeding to Remy. So everybody was gunning for Remy. So they were like, oh, I got so-and-so. They came up with Remy Martin VIP. They came up with Remy this, Remy that, this is this, this, and that. So they were talking a lot of stuff in Florida at that time. So I was like, well, cool. I'll be in Florida with Remy. I can't remember how much money I said, at the time. But I'll be there. And anybody wants to go heads up with him, I'll get in a plane, and I'm flying over to Florida on my own ticket. It wasn't nobody sent for me. And that was a wrap from that. Needless to say, the dog that was really, really trying to question, Remy never showed up.
Wow. Speaking of that, you said Remy is a razor's edge dog, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But in his production, he threw his signature look. Do you feel you were ever accepted by the group?
No.
In other words, going off in your own direction with the blood. Do you ever feel that you were accepted by the group?
No. And see, that was the mistake Razor's Edge them did, because they should have endorsed and loved Remyline, because that's an extension of their blood. It's just like the guys now that can Remyline Bloodline and doing their own bloodlines. I endorse them because that's the utmost respect a bloodline could have. When your bloodline can produce other bloodlines, it can't get any better than that. So to me, Razor's Edge should have been like, hey man, check out Remyline. It's a strand of Razor's Edge. Because they used to always say Remyline's a strand of Razor's Edge. Remyline's a strand of Razor's Edge. But I never got love or respect back. So I was like, well, bump that. Remyline is Remyline. Remy is Razor's Edge. Anything in front of him is Remyline. And that's just how that whole thing came down.
And then let me ask you about that then. Have you and Dave ever had a conversation about the acceptance of Remyline as his own bloodline? Because the reason I asked that question, because with, for example, Christopher Hodge with Rimbull, you have acceptance of the fact that Remy blood is being used, and you accept them and embrace the fact that they're going off in their own direction with the blood. Had you and Dave ever had a conversation about that?
Well, Dave and I never had a conversation about that. Two reasons. One is when I first met Dave, I told him, you need to take control of your bloodline. You're going to lose your bloodline. So Dave was in a very tough position because he created a bloodline, but he lost control of it. Because, like I always say, if you ask, what's a razor's edge dog, what is it? It can't be, you can't go from a nemesis to a little rogue. You can't have a bloodline that has all these different looks. A bloodline is a particular look. If I say Colby, I'm thinking white dog right away. If I say certain things, certain bloodlines, you think of a certain trait. You think of something right away. So if I say razor's edge to somebody, what comes to your mind? If I ask 10 people, razor's edge dog, 10 people give me 10 different dogs. If you ask 10 people, what's a Remyline dog, they're going to give you one dog, one look. So it's primarily, we never had that conversation because I think if he would have endorsed it, it would have put him in a funny situation with a lot of people that's been carrying the name. I could be wrong, but no, we never had that conversation.
Do you think you ever will?
I don't need to.
I hear you.
Because Remyline is Remyline. Remyline is not Razor's Edge.
Remyline is Remyline.
Remy is Razor's Edge. Remyline.
How many kids? How many kids does Remy have?
I think UKC has him down for like 980 something. But I know there's a lot more, because a lot of people hung a lot of papers on their litters with him.
Because you were talking about it, I guess, a couple of times before. Do you feel you overbred him, in your opinion?
Looking back now, yes. I mean, hindsight is always better than foresight. I did overbreed Remy, but on the same token, it's like I said, man, I had $2,500 in a brown paper bag knocking on my door every single day, and I wasn't a better person to say no to it. I mean, do I feel bad about it? I kind of do and don't. I don't feel. I don't feel. Well, I have moments where I feel bad about it, but on the same token, is I look at what his blood has done. I look at how when he's bred right, how the dogs are great. But yes, I definitely did overbred him, but I looked at the money first. I mean, that's straight up.
For people that know, I believe I'm correct with this. You didn't keep any straws on Remy?
I had a lot of straws with Remy that I sold, and my dumb butt, man, I was so busy, my wife kept saying he was going to recollect him. So I was like, yes. I took him in one day when he was older, and the guy was like, well, he's still going, Fabian, but the sperm is only about, 30%. So if you freeze it and you unfreeze it, only about 10% will be good. So long and short, the little bit that I had that I sold off, I ended up having nothing left on Remy. But it's so funny.
So you hear that? Because I'm quite sure you probably get people ask you about that.
Yeah, I do. But what's so funny? I wish I had some straws on Remy, but on the same token, I'm glad I don't have straws on Remy because I'm good with what's out there with him, and it's kind of sometimes peace now. You know what I mean? I don't need to resurrect Remy. His time has came and gone. He did what he had to do, and there's just so much more bigger things like that he inspires me with now. So I'm kind of glad I don't. I wouldn't want to be tempted. Someone calls me and says, "Yo, here's $20 million. Can I have some Remy straws?" And it's my last one, and then I have to be in that situation. Do I take the money or do I just hold on to the straws? So I don't have that stress.
Speaking of money, I'm quite sure you got many offers during your time when you had Remy Martin. What was the highest offer you ever got from Remy, and why did you turn it down?
The most I got for Remy was $250,000, but I turned it down because I was making that, so that wasn't like it wasn't it was cool, but making that. So.
In the height of Remy time in the bully world, do you think you appreciate what you had in him? In other words, in the moment when he was at his highest height in the bully world, did you get a chance to appreciate what you had in your boy?
No. And that hurts me. That really hurts me, because I was so busy in the fight for Remyline. I was so busy breeding. I was so busy I was just so in the trenches, that I loved my dog, but he was a machine. He was just there, and it's like that hurts me. That truly hurts me, and I'll never let that happen again. Never.
You were saying the fight. What fight are you exactly talking about for the acceptance?
I mean, it was the fight. It was the whole Remyline fight. The whole thing. I mean, Remy went up against the game. I mean, Remy was one dog that was like, look, man, you're not going to own me. I'm going to do it my way. And I have a right to do it my way because I'm not owned by nobody other than Fabian, and he didn't settle and just fall short. I mean, he stood his ground, and I think that's what everybody respects about Remy. It's like, you know what? That's one dog that did it his way. You got to respect it, whether you love him or hate him, And he stood for look, I'm not going to have to follow. I'm not under nobody's umbrella, So that to me was just what was amazing. I mean, this dog touched the world. I mean, like I always said before, I had people from jail wrote me letters. I had mothers write me letters. I had family, girl, just writing letters saying, thank you, our puppies changed our lives, your dog has changed, my kids are into, my son is not running the streets no more, my husband is home with us, the family. I mean, not one letter, I'm talking consistently over and over. Up to today, I didn't get letters no more, but you get inbox on Facebook. I mean, it's amazing, It's pretty cool.
What is that like, to get letters like that?
I mean, it's real. Does
it still shock you to this day? Does it still shock you?
It doesn't shock me. It holds me. I feel like it holds me to a higher calling. I feel that I have certain things that I need to do because you have a responsibility. Once you're kind of placed in a certain situation, you have to accept responsibility of it. If you want to be a public figure, you have to accept responsibility of your actions. That's why we hold political people at such high esteem. Everybody's cheating and sending sex tapes and naked pictures. Everybody's doing that. But if a politician do it, oh, he's the devil. Well, it's not that he's the devil. It's just that we're holding you at a higher position,
I hear you. Would you say, let me ask you, in your opinion, would you say you one of the best marketers in the bully community? Because back then you were doing the shirts, you were doing everything back then.
Well, it's so funny, man. People say that about me, and I laugh because I don't see myself as a marketer, because that's not even my field. I'm not a marketer. I have no clue, no training in marketing. I think what it is if you know you got something good and you believe in your product, the marketing comes easy. See, a lot of guys are pushing bullshit. So when you're pushing bullshit, you gotta talk bullshit. And when you talk bullshit, you don't remember what the bullshit is you talked before. So your whole game, your whole strategy is bullshit. I had a dog that pretty much I said, look, this is the wheel. And then you look at the dog and you're like, he's right. And then I had a dog that said, you want to mess with him, he'll bite your dog. And then you look at the dog and he'll be like, roof. You know what I'm saying? So everything I did was never bullshit. So it's kind of like the marketing wasn't hard because I was just telling the facts. So am I a great marketer? I don't know if I'm a great marketer. I think if I could sell bullshit, then I'm a great marketer. But if I'm selling something that's the truth, then I'm just really telling the truth. How easy is that?
Yeah. This is speaking on giving advice. Back in the day there was a Remyline board, and you would give these tips, And you would talk about the tips on like how to take certain pictures, not to just take any old picture of your dog. And you seem to bring that back now into the video version of that. What sparks you to do that, to start that again with the video tips?
Remy's passing was the saddest day, but also the greatest day of my life. Because when he passed away, it lit a fire back in me. It lit a fire back in me to say, man, you know what? Are you going to watch a game that you helped build just go to shit? You know? All that work I put in, all that stuff I did, are you going to watch it just go to shit? And I was like, no. And he was like, you created RKC. You created RKC. You didn't create RKC for Remyline. Remyline is built. You created RKC for all dogs that want to stand for a higher calling. You know? So the videos for me doing is me saying, okay, you know what, you guys? I'm going to hold everybody accountable because nobody could say I didn't know. See, when you don't know, you get that one pass. You know what I'm saying? It's like your kids, if they mess up, you say, okay, you know what? Now you know. If you do this again, I'm going to bust you in your ass. But I'm going to give you the pass right now because you didn't know. So my videos, when I'm doing my videos, it's honestly saying, hey, you guys, let's get better. Let's be better people. Let's be better breeders. Why are we going to sit and just watch all this shit happening and accept it? You know? Well, the reason why is because there's no place for you to go. Well, good. If that's the case, let's build a community where you could go. And that's what my videos are for, man. It's like, now there's no excuse. So if you want to still smell shit, then that's cool because you chose that. There's no excuse no more. So everyone that's seen the videos, you kind of now have a conscience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you want to go out there and knowing that this puppy is crap, but you don't care and you want to sell it, knowing that you know you have a conscience to live with. And karma to me is a bitch, man. I'm a karma person. So I'm holding the whole bully game accountable. Everybody that knows better, including myself, you know?
And well, I must say I really enjoy the videos myself, man. So I appreciate it, man. How did the slogan "One Dog, One Line" come about?
It just kind of made sense, man. You know, it's like everything is in the image of Remy for Remyline. You know, I mean, to me, in my opinion, he was perfect. The only thing I would change in Remy, I would want him in all different colors. But structured, I'm talking down to personalities. If Remy's tail was a half an inch shorter, he wouldn't be Remy no more. If Remy's ear was cut a little different, everything on that dog was right. I mean, the people that got to see Remy will tell you, hey, man, I witnessed something that's almost perfect. You know? There was no buts to him, no buts. And ask anyone, ask him. You know?
I've heard, man. There's no denying it, man.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it's kind of
that's the one thing. That's the one thing you can recognize a Remy dog. That's why the "One Dog, One Line" slogan is so great. You see a Remy dog. That's a Remy dog.
Yep.
And you know it.
Mhm.
Talking Remyline right now. Did you ever imagine it would be as large as it is today? And what I mean by that. Oh, I'm sorry. What I mean by that, it's so worldwide. And when I saw that picture of you with the bully in Egypt, talk about that.
Well, okay, there's two things. There's Remyline and there's Remyline dogs, right? Right now, I'm a little bit bothered with the Remyline dogs because the guys that breed the blood have kind of just lost their mind a little bit, and the dogs have lost their bone, their heads. They're just not up to par to my standards. But they're getting better. They're getting back better. But that's another topic. But Remyline in the world, it's funny to me because it's like, it's not, when you buy a Remyline dog, you're just not buying a dog. If you go to buy another bloodline, and I could be wrong in this, right? Because I can't speak in other bloodlines. when you buy a Remyline dog, it comes with more than just a dog. It comes with a whole lifestyle. It comes with a whole culture. Buy a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, you just don't get a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. You get a whole Harley-Davidson culture that is worldwide. Does that make sense?
The lifestyle.
So,
the lifestyle.
The lifestyle. So when someone says, I have a Remyline dog, and a guy in the Philippines, Egypt, Japan, Trinidad, or so forth, when you say that, they're going to smile. Because it's like, wow, you made that step, you're family. So a lot of people might not like Remyline because of that stress that comes with it. Because you're just not getting a dog. You're about to get about 10 million people that's going to be like, yo, what's up? You know, so it's a whole, it's a movement, man. It's not just a dog. It's one dog, one lion, one family. You know, and when you buy that dog, you're gonna hear Remyline guys.
Who was your mentor coming into the bully community?
My first mentor, my true mentor would be Tilo. Sean from True Tank gave me a lot of advice. A guy named Dan Williams gave me a lot of advice. But Tilo would be my true mentor. If I was to say, if I had to choose who a true mentor would be, I would say it would be Tilo.
Let me ask you this. What's your thoughts on the state of the bully community today? As of right now?
I don't care about it at all. I don't care about it at all because I'm not focused on the bully community today. I'm focused on building a community that's built right. The problem with the bully community today is nobody wants to speak up on it. And if everybody speaks up, when people speak up on it, they get shot down. Because right now the bully community is in a state of emergency. But the people in power of the bully community aren't speaking up. So for me, I'm good. I love the bully community. I have respect. I hope the best for them. But my focus now is to build a community, to build something where people could say, hey, we have an option. Because trying to fix what needs to be fixed right now, forget about it. You can't. Unless certain things come into place, and it's not my place to tell those certain things to do what they need to do. So why even deal with that one?
Well, let me ask you this then: Do you mentor people in the bully in the RKC? Do you mentor any people?
10 o'clock, 10 minutes every day.
Oh yeah, that's correct. That's correct. With your videos every day, you always giving advice.
I don't want to mentor a person. I don't want to mentor that. I want to build a community that moves as one. Just like how I thought of Remyline. See, people think RKC is Remyline because it's named Remy Kennel Club. So let me get this out there real quick so they could understand what RKC means. Remy Kennel Club, the reason why I chose Remy Kennel Club name is because I wanted to have a registry that stood for what we are. We're dogmen. When you think of all the different registries, ABKC, UKC, ADBA, I mean, they stand for United Kennel Club. United in what? What you united in? You know, tell me. When you hear Remy Kennel Club, it symbolizes a dog, a pit bull. We only register as American bullies and American pit bulls. That's it. So, to me, if you're going to be a part of a registry, wouldn't you want to be part of a registry that symbolizes a dog? Well, when you think of Remy, he could walk in all facets of life because he symbolized a beautiful dog. I mean, I couldn't have like a bull. I couldn't have like a certain look dog. I had to have a dog that was universal. So Remy Kennel Club is a registry for all bloodlines, and people need to understand is the name Remy Kennel Club, they could keep saying it's a Remyline thing. It's Remyline inspired, but it has nothing to do with Remyline. Majority of the dogs that are winning in shows, the majority of dogs that are registered aren't even Remyline dogs, which is hilarious to me, you know. So it's like this is the first ever registry that is dedicated to the American Pit Bull and the American Bully, and the symbol of it is a dog.
What?
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Let me ask you this: Why did you start the RKC?
I started the RKC because I didn't feel the other registries had the same views I had. I didn't feel the other registries had an image. You know, I think if I'm going to be part of something, what's the image? What do you stand for? What is your integrity? Because it's like religion. You know, why would you go? Why are you a Catholic and you're a Buddhist? It's because the Buddhist people feel this is the image I like. This is what represents me. A Catholic says, well, no, this is the one I like. Is one better than the other? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to force myself to go to a Buddhism type of religion if I'm not seeing myself in there, if I'm not seeing what my integrities are, if I'm not seeing what I believe in. And they might be better. Maybe I'm the bad person and they're good. You know, I don't know. But I needed to be in part of something that had the same integrity. I can't be with anything that I see changes every 2 years as the game changes. You got to stand for something. If you say black is black, it can't be gray 3 years from now.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you plan on adding other breeds to the registry, like Frenchies, Shorty Bulls?
No, that don't make no sense to me. Why would I add Frenchies, American Bulldogs, and all this? They already have their registries. They have their standards. Are we making a new Frenchie? We're making a more bullier Frenchie? Well, what are we doing? So are these American bully Frenchies? What are they? So why am I going to take a breed that already has a registry? The American bully needed a registry. You know, it needed a registry because the other registries didn't have it. So to me, to bring in Frenchies, Bulldogs, American Bulldogs, now it's just about money. So that's fine. I mean, but call a spade a spade. You know, Remy Kennel Club, what the hell is Remy Kennel Club going to register Frenchies for? We're not a master in that. I don't know nothing about a Frenchie. I can tell you a good Frenchie from a bad Frenchie.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm just tired of. It's just funny to me because people just walk around like they don't see or hear nothing. It's like, stand up, man. You know, just stand for something. If I go to an American Bully show, I want to see American Bullies and I want to see pitbulls. I don't want to see Frenchies. I don't want to see Shorty Bulls. I don't want to see Bulldogs. I don't want to see Canine Carso. I could turn on my TV and watch the Westminster and see the best of that on national TV, in my underwear, smoking my cigarette, having a drink, and holding my girl. Why the hell am I going to go to an American Bully show to go and watch that? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for me.
Oh, I knew it was something. With the pit bull community, how accepting are they with the RKC right now? Are you starting to see more pit bulls come into it?
They love it. They love it because I don't take nothing from them. I don't say we're better than them. You know, that we have a class. We have the game bred class. You know, I mean, all true pit men respect ADBA. It might not be our registry of choice, but we respect it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
They love it. They love it because when you come into the RKC world, you're going to see dogs that look like Whippets, the dogs that look like Frankensteins. You know what I'm saying? So it's not pigeonholed that it has to be so bully. I love the fact the RKC world, they respect the dog. If you have a beautiful dog and you're a dog man, it's going to get respect, period. You know?
Speaking on the RKC, man, this year I know you got to be excited, man. It's going to have its first nationals.
Man,
talk to me about that, and why did you choose North Carolina?
Well, you know what's so funny, man, is that RKC has been around, but this year, for some reason, man, we're making a lot of noise, man. We're making a lot of noise. And what I love about the noise we're making is people are coming because they want to come. You don't see RKC advertising all throughout the bully community. You don't see nobody saying RKC is the best. You don't see that. But what you're seeing is people saying, let me check out what's happening over there. And they're staying with an opinion. Either I like it or I don't. And I think what's happening now, the people are coming and saying, you know what? This isn't a Remyline thing. I've been blinded all this time. This dude doesn't even talk about Remyline. Look what he's talking about. Healthy dogs. Love your dogs. I mean, the stuff that I should have done with my own dogs, I don't want that to happen in RKC. Guys are putting up videos of their dogs running. Guys are cleaning. I mean, it's like the movement to me right now, man. It's like if you're not feeling it, if you're not into it, then you're really, truly not into into the dogs because it's not a registry thing. Everybody in RKC, ask any of them. They'll say, hey, man, Fabian says go to ABKC, go to IBKC, go to BB, go to all the registries you want. You know, we don't say once you're here you can't. But what I do say is when you're here, respect it for what it is. Don't try to convert this, just like RKC is going to try to convert you. You know, so that's what I love. And everyone that's coming is like, you know what, man? I feel free. I feel free to express myself. I feel free to bring in my dog that over there or over here or over there people might not like it. And even though it might not be popular, it's a respected because it's a beautiful dog. That's what I'm
loving like everybody's having fun. It seems like a lot of people are having fun. Like with the RKC stack-off board, you see a lot of traffic on that board, man.
Yeah, I mean it's that's what the game should have been. But people are having fun because nobody is here to hate on your dog. If you love your dog, you keep your dog clean, and you're proud of your dog, man, I salute you. If you got your dog in a crate, if you got your dog in a fucking, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. If you got your dog just dirty, if you just have dogs to breed, I don't salute you. I got no respect for you. I'm starting to say, man, you know, they're starting to realize these are dogs, you know? And if your community, it's like I said this example. If you go to certain communities, you just can't come and put your car on the lawn. You'll have police at your house in a second. You just can't come and turn your, you know, because that community has rules, and you either act right or get out. But if you live in a place where you could park your car on the lawn, you could have music going loud, your dog could be barking, then, hey, that community, that's the way that lives. So the RKC has set rules like we want functional dogs. We want you to come and be a better person. We want you to love your dogs. I mean, damn. I don't think we're asking for anything hard, you know? So if you can't fit into that mold, this isn't going to work for you.
That's interesting when you talk about the rules. I want you to talk to me about the judging process and what judges have to go through in the RKC.
Well, what we're having now, because that's the one area, it's no tolerance. No tolerance. And I'm setting up to where, honestly, every judge is going to be accounted for. I told the people that every time you show your dog in that ring, you're going to get a form that says rate the judge. So after the show, if you choose, you can put your opinion. You know, if this judge is da-da-da-da. So if everybody's saying this judge sucks, then obviously the judge sucks. I need to talk to him. But the way we're setting it up now is primarily to be a judge, you got to be mentored by a judge. You got to be in the ring a lot of times with the judge. You have to take an exam. You know, I mean, you're gonna go through some real serious stuff because at the end of the day, you got to make the call right or close to right. You can't be so far off. We are gonna mess up here and there. That's a given. But the mess up's got to be real minimal, and there's no room for error with that. So the judges, I want when you hear you're an RKC judge, I want people to look at them like, that's the cream of the crop right there because I know that guy went through some shit to become a judge, you know. And I mean, right now, it's getting serious. And every judge for every show, I call them and say, look, there's no room for error here, you know. Our judges can't be walking around the show. They got to stay at the RKC table. When their job is done and the show is over, they could go and mingle all they want. But until then, there is no fraternizing. You're here to judge. You're getting paid to judge these dogs. These people are looking at you to rate them. You ain't got no time to be hanging out. Get your game face on, man.
Speaking of that, how you feel about judges showing dogs? Do you feel it's okay for that?
I feel, you know, man.
Do they have to give that up as a sacrifice in order to be a judge?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean because I can't take away. If I enjoy showing a dog, what I do on my other, if I'm at a show to show my dog, I'm at a show to show my dog, you know. And to me, I think a judge showing a dog probably has a harder time than a regular person because, you know, you're thinking he should have everything right. He's a judge. So I don't think a person should get it because if you love showing dogs and you love being a judge, no, man. You know, I'm not there. Now, if I see a lot of conflicts and interest in the RKC with that, then we might have to revisit it. But that doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Now tell me, who's your favorite bully in the bully game today? Or some of your favorites that you like?
I mean, honestly, man, I like the dogs, man. A lot of dogs that I'm seeing are really no-name dogs that I like. You know, I'm really feeling. I saw this dog named Smash. I really like him. I'm looking forward to seeing Boss Hog. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, I've seen Daxwell. He looks good. I saw Rembrandt. He looks good. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of dogs that I'm seeing. But what I love about the RKC community, and you can notice, Zeb, look at all the new dogs that you've never seen. Look at all these people that we never heard of. It's like, where have you guys been? Look at these dogs.
Like a rejuvenation, going on right now.
I mean, I'm seeing dogs that it's just like, where'd you hide this dog? I want to see Henrock. That looks like a really nice dog. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of dogs. I hate mentioning dogs on the air because people be like, damn, you didn't mention my dog. And so there's a lot more other ones that I really want to see. You know?
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, but
That's
yeah,
cool.
I just wanted to find out. Now, let me ask you, when it's all said and done, what would you like for your legacy to be in the bully community?
When it's all said and done, I would like to see the RKC truly be a lifestyle, like how Remyline is a lifestyle. When I look at the Philippines and I see the way they're doing RKC, it's a community, man. It's like they respect the community. I want to see RKC. When people say I've shown RKC, they say it with pride. I want RKC to be the AKC of the bully world, straight up.
Man, that's nice, man.
That's what I want.
I gotta say, man,
when people say RKC, they say with pride. They're like proud of it. They're not like, I showing this, I showing you, KC. You know, I kind of show here. I want to say, man, I show an RKC. And when you say it, man, you say it with pride because it's like people are gonna say, you know what? I gotta respect that because that community is no nonsense. You gotta come right because they don't care. Get out. You could be my brother, and if you're dogging right, loser, get out the ring, man. It's not personal here. It's about the dogs, man. So that's what I want my legacy to be. I want RKC, and I want the community, all the people that are growing it. When we're old and we have grandkids, the community can look back and say, "Hey, grandson, you see this community out there? Your pops helped build this." I mean, it's not a Fabian thing. It's so not me. I mean, you see it's so not me. I'm just putting the things together. But look at the people coming. Look what they're doing. It's not Fabian. It's so far from me. It's hilarious. I love it. You know, it's like they really see we are building this, man. We are. I love it.
Man, I gotta say, man, I'm coming to that show March 15th, man, because I gotta see what's going on there. And I got a lot of family in that Roxborough, Greensboro, Durham area. So I'm coming out, man. I'm coming out.
We got the March 15th. So there's like 5 back-to-back shows going on every weekend. Texas show. I mean, we just started a show popped up today. It's going to be in Virginia. I mean, like I said, if people want to act like they don't hear about RKC, if people want to still be like, oh, that's a Remyline thing and keep using that excuse, hey, man, it doesn't really matter because you can't stop what's going on because you got to come and check it out. It's like, I mean, I'm smiling right now because, like, how do you not go to the good party?
Yeah. Man, but
and you're a dog man. And you're a dog man. How do you not go to the dog man party and you're a dog man? Because I mean, how do you not go?
Man,
come and check it
I'm
out,
there, man. But I want to thank you for your time today. Time is running short. I appreciate you coming on for this first show.
Thanks for having me, Zeb. You know, I've always shown a lot of respect for what you do, man. And real talk, I hope I didn't offend anybody tonight, but I'm just being me, and I just really love the game. I love the bullies, and I just respect people. I just think if people just be real with what they want to do, this game will be fine, and just don't be scared to have an opinion, you know?
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. I'll see you March 15th, man.
All right, cool. Peace.
All right, peace.